Hi, it's Colli from Collitalks, Transformative Conversations, and it's beginning to look a lot like a new year. Well, we're at 2026, and my goodness, things are getting deep. And, this is the conversation for the moment about how things are going in not just the world, but your world. So today it's all about the architecture of peace. And as you know, my name's Colli, Dr. Colli Christante. This episode is really about how to build a sanctuary in a world of noise. Yes, how to build a sanctuary in a world of noise. I want to welcome you back today. We're standing at a very specific threshold in history. If you turn on the news or scroll through your feed, the frequency is unmistakable. It is a frequency of panic. So between the whispers of war and the volatility of the economy and the general sense of unrest, it feels as if the very air we breathe has become anaerobic, starved of oxygen, starved of peace. And this is, for a lot of people, shaking. People are shaking. I can feel it in the field. I live in the field. My life is always in the field, and constellations are always happening because I live there. And today, I really want to talk to you about a different kind of architecture. I want to talk to you about the sovereign resident, because while the world is freaked out, there is a group of people who are busy building something else. They are building a sanctuary that no war could ever touch, no economy could ever bankrupt. They are connecting to source. It's one level up from identity. Who else is involved here? The source, that inner place of safety, peace, inner knowing. Yes, that source. You know, I've had a secret my whole life. Yeah, I have. Since I was a little girl, I've had an inner knowing. Even in the middle of the fog, even when I was playing the family glue or acting as a rescue mission for everyone else, this pilot light never, ever went out. I've come to realize that this knowing is my biological inheritance. I look back at my beautiful Roma lineage, a people who understood the architecture of the road better than the architecture of a house. They survived through centuries of displacement because they possessed a high frequency intuition. They knew exactly when to duck, when to leave, and when to trust. They didn't have stability in the drugstore sense of the word. They had sovereignty. They knew that if you are connected to the source, the shaking of the world is just background noise. Yeah, just background noise. The that gypsy knowing is what allowed me to realize that my time, even in various places that I've lived, has come to an end. It's what told me that some people's calling me a slave, it was a label, was a lie. It is the same knowing that is telling you right now that you were and are built for more than just surviving the storm. People often ask me, Colli, How can you be so certain in such an uncertain world? And my answer is simple. I have audited the debt. I realized that the most expensive thing you will ever own is your own attention. If you are giving your attention to things you cannot control, the movements of armies or the fluctuations of markets, you are essentially paying a global black sheep. Yeah, it's a black sheep tax. You might be staying small, You are staying small if that's the case. And worried so you don't have to face the terrifying possibility of your own power? Hmm. Well, the submersive, new year is about cashing out that debt. And it is a debt. It's about realizing that in the world of shambles, the most radical act you can perform is to be vibrant, to be well, to be rested, to be nourished, to be honest, to be loyal to yourself. Your ancestors didn't survive fire and exile so that you could live in a state of braced panic. They survived so you could be the architect of the after. In approximately 15 days, I'm actually boarding a plane. I'm moving toward a new geography of light. I'm not moving yet, but my Roma blood knows that it's time to leave the old kingdom behind. And as I prepare for what's coming in 2026 with regards to, well, let's just say I'm going to leave that as a surprise because I am seeing that the world isn't looking for more experts on war. They are looking for architects of peace. They're looking for women who have settled the accounts of their own history and are now ready to stand as a lighthouse. So if you are feeling freaked out today, I want you to do one thing. Resign. Yeah, resign from the panic. Resign from the noise. Reclaim your breath. This is the ambrosia, the food of the gods that belongs to the sovereign. This is the source that my ancestors carried in their bones across every border. And it is the same source that I carry and that is waiting for you to plug back in. So tonight, I invite you to do one thing. Put your hand on your heart and one on your hara, which is where the umbilical cord was cut, the first known separation from your mother, and turn off the noise. Put down the yesterday of the world. Find your long lost friend, the one who remembers how to laugh, the one who remembers how to get out and experience nature, the one who remembers how to hug someone, the one who remembers that you are the constant source and that you have another source to connect to, and that is above your identity. And as you go into that, breathe, and just breathe again. There's a beautiful breath work you can do, which is breathe in for 4, hold for 2, and then exhale for 8. And just do that for a few minutes. It resets the vagus nerve. It just calms down the sympathetic and, doesn't send you right into the parasympathetic, but it balances. And that's what we need is that connection to breath because breath is the source, right? We come into life breathing in and we go out of life breathing out. The accounts are settled. The windows are open. And the resident is finally, officially home. I found me again. I'm continually finding the little girl who always knew when to duck and when to fly. And you know what she's telling me? It's okay. It's okay. It's totally okay to just let it be. Because you know what? The source has you. And yes, the source has me, and the source also has you. So for now, I am saying what I always say, sending lots of love and lots of soul hugs. And please go easy on yourself. Remember, you are the one you've been waiting for.